So what I'm hoping for is that the Bears choose the right path, and I was kind of using it directionally, but I guess it would be the right path in general as well, to say, all right, we messed up, take accountability, and say, let's get back to what worked, what helped us put up 30 points a game last season, and let our freak athlete quarterback be a freak athlete. And it'll be very evident, I think, early on in the game. I think it'll be evident pretty quick.
But the problem you face if you're the coaching staff in that situation is like, this is a lose-lose situation for you, because you don't, like, if things were to get better, say Justin Fields is right, you let him play ball, you move the pocket, you do the design runs, you do everything you did last year, and it works because you have better playmakers this year too, and these things work, and it's a better version of what it was last year. Say that's the case. And hey, we figured it out week 3, right? And now we start winning games. Yes, that shows that you have the ability to adapt. That is true, but it's inexcusable. It's inexcusable that you even attempted to do the things you did before the season began. It's inexcusable that you had 4 months to game plan for the Green Bay Packers and evaluate this team and look at the roster that you had at hand and thought, hey, this is the way we're going to do things for 2 games straight. They could have fixed it after the Green Bay game, but they didn't. So it's a lose-lose situation for the coaching staff here, which is why I think they're going to get fired. I think at some point they're going to get fired. And like, maybe they do end up looking at it like, hey, you fixed it in week 3. And if you end up winning 7 games, guess what? You fixed it, and now we go next year. But that's the same thing we said last year. It was inexcusable for the first few games last year. Then they fixed it. But you can't do it again. It's too late again. You had the whole offseason. This is a season where you're supposed to be in contention. The expectations were set high. This is the way it should have been from the jump. You tried too hard to turn a player into somebody they're not, somebody who's valuable to this franchise. I still believe that Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren have a big belief in Justin Fields. Like, I do think that those two figures have a very strong belief in Justin Fields, which is a very critical point in this whole situation when you think about where do we go after week 17. But I just don't think there's a possible scenario for the coaching staff where it ends up well for them. Like, you have, like, even if you take all of the blame and admit that you were wrong, that's still not a good look. And that's the same thing that got Matt Nagy fired. It's the exact same thing that got Nagy fired in the long run.
Stubbornness, arrogance.
Stubbornness, arrogance, and like, it's a lose-lose situation for them. They're gone. It is going to be the end. And just with everything that's going on, like, it just feels like today was a day, and I tweeted this, and obviously it wasn't going to happen, but it's truly how I felt. Like, with everything that happened, like, today felt like a day where the only thing to rectify what was going on was by firing the head coach and the offensive coordinator. That felt like the only way. Like, cleanup is too difficult, right? It just felt too hard to find a way to fix this without just firing people. Like, and think about it from your standpoint as a fan. Like, if you were going into this Kansas City game with a different, I don't know, Andrew Janocko is calling plays, and I guess he's the interim head coach as well, right? Like, that's the guy who's probably most qualified. Like, I almost feel more positive about the game if that's the case. Like, I almost do, just because I just feel like this coaching staff has had such a negative influence on Justin Fields, and Stephen A. Smith might be right when he says it feels like Justin doesn't want to be here because he knows the coaching staff is damaging, his play on the field. Like, it felt like one of those days where you are better off if you just get rid of the mess and get rid of who's creating the mess. And I don't like Matt Eberflus and Luke Getsy aren't like bad guys. Like, it's not like toxic culture. It's just like, man, the players all have Justin Fields back. Like, Jaquan Brisker and Jalen Johnson are on record on, 6-7 the score saying we have his back. We know he can ball. Like, everyone in this situation, like, if you were to pick sides, like, this is typically the case, but everyone's picking Justin Fields. Everyone's going to them. Like, this is a situation where the players are going to coalesce. The players are going to form a coalition and be like, hey, we kind of like this. We got to do this ourselves, man. Like, our coaches aren't really helping us out here.
Which, I mean, remember 2 years ago when it was, oh, well, half the team is split Andy Dalton, half the other team is split of Justin Fields. Yeah. Like, remember that? We're not that far removed from that. So, like, this is a huge step in the right direction from that. I mean, a lot of those guys are gone, but the point stands.
You're right. I mean, the point stands, but like, it's just natural. Like, whether you want to do it or not, like, when things go wrong, people want to play the blame game. It happens in every facet of life. Like, it's just a natural thing to do. Like, when things go wrong, you try to figure out why those things are going wrong. And I think the players like are certainly taking accountability, but at least the offensive players, like I think DJ Moore knows. I think Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet know. Like, dude, like we're kind of running the route. Like Chase Claypool might not be able to say this, just quite yet, but like the other guys are saying, like, we're running the route, like we're doing everything we can. Like the offense.
Chase Claypool was your guy after the touchdown.
No, he's not my guy. I thought he played better.
I thought all sins were absolved.
I thought he played better.
Was a certified Chase Claypool stand now. I thought the touchdown absolved everything.
It got close.
You were on the record saying that Monday.
I was not on the record saying absolve everything. I thought he played better. I thought he looked like a better version of himself than he did week 1. And that is an objective fact. I mean, he actually caught passes and scored a touchdown. But just in general, like it's natural for people to gravitate towards what they or gravitate away in this case, what they think, is wrong and what they think is ruining the team. And I think a lot of them look at the situation and say, the coaches aren't putting us in the best position to win. And I just, for better or for worse, I think the players are going to come together. I think this is actually one of those situations where this is a thing that unites the team. Like maybe it doesn't unite the coaches and the players, but it unites all those guys in that locker room.